Coming to you live from Alola's Battle Royale Dome, it's the one, the only PUCL Battlecast.
Hello and welcome to Battlecast. I'm your host, Seth Vilo. This is Battlecast number 37, which means I've been doing this for quite a long time. Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh, it's been
Which one? How many did I do? I did like 3.
I don't know. You did a good bit of them, but then you handed it off to me.
Yeah, because if I didn't hand it off to you, Battlecast was going to be a fever dream that happened once every 4 months.
I swear it'll come out again in another month.
That's
decade?
literally that's what happened with Battlecast. It was like, yeah, this is going to be a monthly show, and then it was like once every 4 months. Thatch got a Battlecast out there.
Yep.
That's exactly.
I think you handed it off to me in like 2019.
I did, and I was just,
yeah.
I think I did like 13 of them, and I was just like, I'm 13 of them like over 2.5 years, and I was just like, yeah, I can't do this.
Well, as you can hear, we've got 2 other people here with me this month. It's P. McGee and Thatch himself. So say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm at 200% of my annual PUCL Plus showing so far.
I know, and it's only March.
I'm kicking it off, man. Oh, I'm good for 2022. I don't have to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
nice.
true.
23.
There we go.
You're welcome.
Maybe I can get on Game Corner.
Appearances.
Maybe I can get on Game Corner. Yeah, there we go.
I saw you streaming TCG the other day in Discord, so I mean, like, you're hitting all the boxes.
I should probably go on TCG Cast. I probably play the game sometimes.
Probably play the I just have zero motivation.
I don't
live in Australia or New Zealand, so I don't have any motivation to do it.
I like playing the TCG. It's a good time.
This latest set is cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's all nifty. I like playing it. One, you can't buy it anymore, so who cares? It's just it's a fake game. It's just as good as Hearthstone. It might as well just be Hearthstone at this point, because I don't think physical cards exist anymore. And
no.
Yeah, it's a whole deal. But we're here to talk about Pokemon.
Yeah, we're here to talk about the other part of Pokemon, the battling part, not the card
real
part. Before we get
real part.
Too off kilter.
I'm not.
So what have you guys been doing as far as like video game part battling as far as Pokemon goes? How about you, McGee? What have you been up to?
Oh, literally everything. I'm doing UUTC right now, so getting my little bit of BSS in for the year. We just did the Dodrio Cup, which went okay. So I got
it went okay. Okay is how I would go with that. Yeah,
it was an okay run. We technically made top cut, which is all that really matters.
That's all we're gonna say.
That's all we're gonna say on the matter. And then what else have I been doing? Draft League. But that's going average. So I went and joined an Uber's Draft League, and that's chaos, and that's great.
Ugh.
Yeah. So pretty much everything under the sun, except for OU, because we'll talk about it, but they took away my favorite toys again, so I'm protesting.
I'm personally responsible for the majority of our losses as far as the draft team matchup. The Corva Knights Radiant ain't doing too hot at the moment, courtesy of yours truly, so yeet. I got paired against the weeks that had like Urshifu and Hawlucha. Like, what do you expect me to do? I go into that battle instantly tilted. Yeah, it's Specs Magnezone that one-shot me. Like, what am I just sit there and I feel, okay, this is how it's going to go. Alrighty. So
I'm in the UTC. I'm a strong 2-2 competitor right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Top cut bound, maybe.
I'm disappointed that I'm top cut bound. because I shouldn't be. As I had a couple teams that I've been playing around with, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm okay. I know how these teams run.
I played Liger today.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna.
And we went to timer twice. We went to timer twice in 3 games.
My
it
son.
was awful.
Oh. I feel sorry for you.
He trapped me with a Gothitelle. He trapped my Chansey with a Gothitelle. No, neither could break each other, so they just...
Oh, wait. No. You were playing Chansey. You deserved it. I will stand by that.
Gothitelle. I won.
No, you both deserve it. No, you both deserve it.
I'm not saying I don't deserve it.
You both deserve it.
What is it? Your Blissey Chansey core? Didn't you run that for a brief period of time, McGee? Or am I remembering wrong?
Quagsire Chansey?
Maybe that's what it was. The double.
I have Quagsire Chansey and UUTC. I have Slowbro Chansey most of the time in OU. I need to
that's
see if
what
that's
I'm thinking. That double wall. Ugh.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad in BSS.
And then you give me the business.
No. I
just having a defensive.
I
line.
absolutely think that stall in BSS is not nonsense and shouldn't exist.
It shouldn't. But
it's probably the only good thing that's come out of Timergate. In the Pokemon universe has been that I really enjoy my Splatoon length battles. And that's 100% how I equate them, by the way. Like, Splatoon's a really nice bite-sized game where you can go in and you can play 3 minutes and then you're done. And I really like that about BSS and VGC. You go on ladder.
I get to turn 65 and it's like, oh, we're just warming up.
Exactly. I think that's the one thing I don't miss. Like when I went and I converted to like pure cart from Showdown, was that I don't miss battles that can last 30 to 40 minutes on average. I really like being in and out and just done. I like, there's something to that. I also think VGC in particular is very balanced in terms of getting a lot of Pokemon play.
Yes.
Compared to something like OU, where like, obviously there's something that's broken there because why would Game Freak care about your made up meta? And which is kind of dumb because I really think the 6v6 format should exist in some form on cart, mostly because that's how you play the game. And I agree with you there. I think if you want to indoctrinate people into Pokemon, competitive or otherwise, it's really a good way to let them battle their friends with the team of 6v6. So I mean, I'm hoping maybe BDSP will fix that for us. Who knows?
We'll find out. That'll be probably not, but we'll find out.
You know what did have a 60-minute timer? You want to know what did have a 60-minute timer and it's going to make you upset?
Let's go.
Oh, no.
Let's go, Pikachu and Eevee.
Oh.
So they can do it on Switch. They just want to punish us.
I didn't realize that. Like I said, I got to Fuchsia City in that game and then just everything stopped. So
Yep. Rightfully so.
I just wanted to transfer from Go into the game. That's all I needed. I just needed my Mel medal.
Yep. That sounds right.
Yeah.
You're not. Right, I don't blame you.
Yeah. We're going to cut it there, though, and we're going to head into the tier time bit where we're going to go over all the changes that have happened in the tiers this last month. There's some good ones, so stay tuned.
And now it's time to see the results of this month's Blood, Sweat, and Tearing.
And welcome back. We are diving into tier time from the top, as usual, with Ubers, where things are happening that isn't normal.
What? I'm reading this and I'm already like, what? Okay, keep going.
Yeah, they are suspect testing something else, and if you were thinking it's shadowy, dark, and evil, you're correct, but I mean, those were the two things that they were going to suspect test anyway, either Calyrex or Shadow Tag. They picked Shadow Tag first, so that's what they're thinking might be the biggest part of the problem. Like, Zacian was busted, like, full stop. Nothing stopped that thing.
I hate Smogon players and their hate for Arena Trap and Shadow Tag.
I mean, I get it.
I get it.
I really do.
I get it, but I think it's a legitimate play style.
It is.
And you should play around it.
It's a very unfun play style.
And that's why I think something like Mega Gengar that restricts.
You know what I think is an unfun play style?
Was okay.
Lando T. Okay, but nothing happened about that for God knows how long.
Well, that's because it's not as good anymore.
It's not good anymore, thank God.
It's still number one, but it's not as good.
It can't. It can counter itself in Smogon, but no, it can't because hidden power doesn't exist.
Yep,
no,
exactly.
It just toxic each other. That's what happens nowadays.
And then they wait.
They wait.
But yeah. But anyway, on the Uber's part of the reason that they're doing this first before they do Calyrex is because with them, these two were frequently run together. some form of Shadow Tagger and Calyrex Shadow Rider, so that Calyrex's counter could be trapped, killed, and then Calyrex just comes in and destroys the rest of your team. But without Shadow Tag, that might be able to be kept more in check by some things. That's probably going to be next on the suspecting thing. I'm a little bit surprised they did Shadow Tag first, personally, but it makes sense. And
I'm not, because I've been on Smogon for a while, and I know that they don't like Shadow Tag and Arena Trap.
Yeah.
I used to be
a chance every gen.
I used to matter in Little Cup. And the number of times they tried to ban Arena Trap in Little Cup was too many.
They almost banned Volibee. It didn't happen, but they almost did.
Yeah,
I think Gen 6 Little Cup, they tried to ban Diglett or Arena Trap. They tried to ban Diglett and Arena Trap specifically together 3 separate times, and each time they came up with a new reason to do it.
Yep.
It was like a new flavor of how to do it, and it was so frustrating because I'm like, there's other things that you could definitely ban that aren't Diglett. And we were just sitting there wasting our time trying to ban Diglett.
But I couldn't switch out one time, so...
Exactly. And I think you need that in Little Cup. I think it's required in Little Cup, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
There were no bans in Little Cup this month, probably. I haven't paid attention.
No,
I haven't seen any.
The
last one...
And that
that was the last attempt. And all 8 people who play didn't decide that it was broken.
You're not wrong on the number. Dude, I've gone on the Little Cup ladder a few times in Gen 8, and I run into the same people every time. I'm not even kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I still
remember
wonder
that one
if we
time
had
we
a
took over the
statistical effect.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder if we saw a statistical
Right.
effect that month on the usage.
Yes, we did.
That was hilarious. But yeah, that's Ubers right now in a nutshell. The suspect test for Shadow Tag will wrap up on March 20th. So if you'd like to go voice your opinion there, you have, when the show comes out, 9 days to do that. So get on the ladder and voice your Shadow Tag opinion. But we are moving down to the next tier, which has the most things happening, and the things that made me happy that midnight when they announced it. I think it was like 1 a.m. that they announced that those 2 were out. We are down to OU, and the bans that I'm alluding to are Cinderace and Magearna being quick banned at the same time, just a few days after that survey. Mm-hmm.
This is the second time they had been quick banned together. It is brutal.
Thank goodness, because they were stupid and are stupid. I don't care what McGee says about Cinderace not causing problems. It definitely was.
I don't know. It kind of reminds me
cause problems like Magearna.
It feels
Magearna, I understand.
It feels like what I wanted from Gen 7 the entire time.
Right?
Because
like they're doing good.
Because in Gen 7, in OU specifically, you had, I believe it was Lando, Greninja, and Magearna.
Kartana was a big one.
Well, those 3 specifically that were just like a real big problem. And everybody's like, well, if you ban one, then these 2 will just take over. I'm like, yeah, we should get rid of all 3 of them. That's
then
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying all 3 of them are a problem. And you get rid of all 3.
I think they've really stepped it up and taken a lesson and learned a lot about, you know, the managing things. And I think part of it was the DLC really kind of forcing them to really think on their feet and act quickly. That's what I think the biggest part is.
I think it requires them, especially the mode that we're in now. And if anybody actually hopes that BDSP will come in to SwSh, which is not happening, but
we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yes. I think they have to do that. They have to think on their feet. They're going to have to be ready and like be ready to ban things without literally any reason sometimes, other than like this is being used a lot and people are complaining. Yeah, I really appreciate this. I appreciate this.
Because when Crown Tundra launched, they let pretty much everything back in that wasn't like super broken. So like anything not Darmanitan and Dracovish or like some of like the box legends, they let them come play. Mm-hmm. And then they kept quick banning in waves until we got to Cinderace and Magearna, which is fine. I knew Magearna was never meant to last. I thought Cinderace might survive with Lando T in the meta, but it didn't happen.
And even then, like Spectrier was suspect tested too, so they didn't quick ban that one. They let it go through the process. So I think they're really listening to what people want, especially like I mentioned, this came right after the player-based survey that came out. They did the statistical analysis on that and came to a conclusion that those 2 were overwhelmingly going to be banned if they did a suspect test. So skip the test. Each one takes 2 weeks, so knock it down. Which brings up another thing that they're discussing right now, which is possibly bringing down the length of suspect testing to 1 week as opposed to 2. Again, thinking
in this mode,
adapting to what people are after.
In this mode, they have to. I think that I don't think they were well prepared for the way that SwSh wanted them. Oh yeah,
no one was.
Nobody. I mean, obviously, because like it's unprecedented. Yeah. And I think, I mean, one, it's fun. I like it a lot, but I don't think they were set up well for it. And I think you need to lower the suspect test times. And I think you have to utilize quick bans more often, more frequently.
Yep.
And 2, you need to reduce the suspect test length. One week I think is more than enough.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We've reached a point too where people that are going to do the suspect test and intend to do it will qualify within that 1 week time. I think they probably have looked at it too, and they're not seeing a huge number of people coming in at the tail end. Most people probably qualify within the first 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so why drag it out for another week and a half when they're only going to get 10% more people to
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with you.
I'm sure they're doing that kind of analysis on it, and that's probably what's making this discussion happen.
And most of the votes have been pretty lopsided, too. Nothing in OU so far this generation has survived a suspect test. It's been pretty lopsided with every single vote. So not only are we going an extra week when there's barely any more people qualifying, but most of the time the vote doesn't even matter. It's so overwhelming.
Yeah, it's like 80% or something like that for things like this.
Yeah,
so
when 60% is needed. Yeah.
But on that, from other discussion whispers, it looks like Cinderace is going to be retested. Once things kind of settle out, stabilize, that might be retested. We'll see. Who knows? They may move on to finding something else that's caused a real problem right now, or, bringing down the Zamazenta crown.
I still want to see that happen. I want to see it tried.
I just want to see it happen. Yeah, exactly. I want something to absorb knockoff. But yeah, that might be fun. We'll find out.
I miss Megas.
I do too. My Sableye baby is never coming back.
It might. Maybe.
It might. Yeah, but some trends that are happening in OU right now, with Magearna gone and Cinderace gone, it opens up a lot of stuff. There's a whole lot more team freedom going on that people are loving, and I've been seeing a lot of innovation in a whole lot of the threads. Lots of teams no longer have to run specific checks. For example, Galarian and Slow King has fallen off quite a bit because it's not a requirement anymore to check Magearna.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of
Lele.
semi-checking Spectrier too with the AV sets because they were built in a way where it was 3-hit KOs on the Shadow Balls.
Oh yeah.
So you could come in on the Shadow Ball, absorb the hit, and then you could Shadow Ball it back if it decided to attack again. So you could potentially KO it or at least weaken it down. So it's lost some of the things it's countering. It's kind of how that goes. It's the same thing that happened with Buzzwole when they started banning a lot of the really bad things. Buzzwole disappeared.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. We've got some scary physical things, some scary special things, some scary wall things. I mentioned a minute ago, Kyurem and Lele are going absolutely crazy now that they're freed up.
Shocking.
On the special side, I know, right? Kyurem came back kind of out of nowhere. Specs Kyurem, Sub Kyurem, both of them. They're wild. Rillaboom and Sword Stance Garchomp are causing absolute mayhem.
Rillaboom,
as far as walls.
Rillaboom's the one thing that's...
Yeah, Rillaboom's nuts.
Rillaboom's like almost Lando T spammable right now, and it upsets me.
Yeah. And nothing, like, a lot of things want to either punish contact or punish something, but then they get hit by knockoff, and a lot of its counters really need their shoes on.
Yep.
In order to counter it.
Yep.
Like, I run, like, 2 things that happen to check it, one of which is Volcarona. If it eats a knockoff, that's a sad Volcarona. So... yeah.
Corviknight might see some more life, though, because it didn't like Magearna, it didn't like Cinderace. So with both of those things gone, Corviknight as a general wall should come back a bit.
Yeah, and Magnezone is popping off for that exact reason. You knock off with Rillaboom,
Shutshell
and then
gone.
switch to Magnezone. Yep, exactly.
Grassy Glide's just stupid.
Unless the Corviknight U-turn's smart. Yeah, Grassy Glide is stupid. Rillaboom with it is stupid. Thank goodness Bulu didn't get it as well, because that'd be nuts.
Yeah, Bulu's sad, though.
Bulu's always been sad, let's be honest.
He's always been the saddest of the Tapus. It only got worse.
Feeny is popping off, too, actually. Just kind of coming back and doing its thing.
It's always been good.
Defensive, Calm Mind. Scarf is really fire, honestly, because between Trick and surprising a Dragapult with Moonblast out of nowhere, that can put in a lot of work.
Yeah, it's got good enough speed tier. It's just naturally fat, so it can play around with little bits and go for 2 at KO attacked because it's not going to die. It's good.
Yeah. And Dragapult is shot up to number 2 from number 21 in the usage stats, right underneath Lando, because finally it's good again now that there's no Magearna and Cinderace around. Cinderace really kind of hampered it until people started running like Thunder Wave with it, and then just risking being hit really hard. Because Sucker Punch exists.
Yeah, Dragapult was a victim of the Magearna being so popular, because Magearna was so popular, which made things like Chansey and Blissey very common, and things that just end up checking Dragapult as well. So you can't run subsets, you can't run spec sets, and so you're forced into physical sets, which also suck because Magearna just eats the physical sets. And so, unsurprising that Pult is back on the rise. It's just kind of one of those things that's always going to be good.
That said, for the heavy duty boots plus Hex set, I've really loved, instead of doing Draco Meteor, I've been doing Dragon Darts on it. You're running a little bit of attack. You 2-hit KO Volcarona, which you couldn't normally do, which is great because you resist its stab combo. But yeah, Dragapult's wild. I want it on every team I build because it's just a cool Pokemon, and I love being able to use it. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of OU in a nutshell. So, hurrah. It's going to be fun. Nothing seems broken right now, which feels really good. Like, nothing screams and sticks out like a Magearna or a Cinderace. Like, you'd have to find and kind of start looking to find something that just is broken.
That's kind of what happened back in Gen 4.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
When they banned all the dragons?
Yeah, it was slowly. It took a while. Garchomp was good, and then they banned Garchomp, and then they're just like, and then Salamence was just like, oh, Garchomp's gone. Okay, I'll be here now. And then Salamence got banned.
They just unbanned Latias a couple months ago in Gen 4 OU. So, again, all 8 people who play that can now play Latias. Hooray.
Yay.
I think fewer people play that than Little Cup.
I would agree with you. Moving right along, though, down the ladder, we are now in UU, where some weird stuff is happening. 2 things were banned with a normal... Well, I think one of them was a normal suspect process. The other was a quick ban. Terrakion was banned, and Victini were banned. I forget if they were both quick, or if one was a suspect and one was the other. I don't remember. But those 2 are out in Borderline now. Victini is good because it was way too versatile and just causing a lot of mayhem there. Nothing could really stop it. And there is a suspect test going on right now, but not to ban something, to unban something. They are testing Aegislash in UU again.
Why?
That test ends March 21st.
Why is it even here?
Why? Who was somebody just like, yeah, let's have 2 weeks of mayhem?
I don't understand. I don't know. I mean,
2 weeks of mayhem.
It makes sense, I guess.
It makes 0 sense.
But, like, I didn't realize that the 20 base points on either side was going to be bad.
Yeah.
That bad.
Plus the King Shield nerf, like, none of it seemed drastic, but, like, the impact has just been clear as day. I mean, maybe it doesn't have the Dragapults there.
I still don't think it's a UU. But...
Well, no, I run it in OU all the time. I give it some specs and just, like, shoot.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it should be a UU. I don't think it should be a UU at all. I think it makes it a balance mon that shouldn't be banned from OU.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost in UU. It's not being banned anytime soon. But yeah,
I don't think
that's a weird. This is a weird time.
Okay.
Had I told you, Thatch, 5 or 6 years ago that this was going to be happening, how many spores would you have thought I took before I told you that information?
I don't know. Anybody told me 6 years ago that Pokemon would be the way it is now, I wouldn't believe them.
I mean, fair, yeah. Hey, guess what's gonna happen? Aegislash is gonna be UU. Ha 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 ha.
I would honestly believe that. I would believe that in 2015, only because I would believe power creep would be real. And
from Ubers to UU, wow, a wild world.
Because I think there was power creep in Gen 7. There's crazy power creep in Gen 7.
Well, sure, the Uber or the Ultra Beast certainly didn't help matters.
Yeah,
and most of the Tapus.
Yeah.
Half of the toppers.
Did they?
Half of the toppers. I'll say
Half of the top.
half of the
They
toppers.
even nerfed those. That was a nice thing too.
Yeah, I would say Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, both made OU real scary power creep, and I would say that Feeny was all right. Feeny was like a good standard like Vaughn. That's what everybody should have been. And then
Feeny could defog too properly in Gen 7.
yeah, I think Feeny was good.
nerfed in
I don't think Feeny was overpowered though. I don't think it was like power creep from Feeny.
No.
I think it was power creep from Coco and then a lot of the Ultra Beast.
Yeah. But here we are.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, well.
I probably would have believed you if you would have said in 6 years he'll be UU. I'll be like, man, I can't wait just to see the crazy stuff in OU. Did they get rid of Team Preview and Electivire's back?
His time is coming in November. You'll see.
True remakes. There's no Team Preview.
Right. Yep. But other UU news that's happening, Terrakion was banned, which means that the Terrakion but dog, or canine, whatever species, Lycanroc Dusk has stepped in to take Terrakion's place. So.
Same thing. Same exact thing.
I don't know. Basically they're the same.
Just
thing.
about.
Quadruped rock type that has close combat.
Yep. I can't believe they gave it close combat, by the way. That's so stupid.
Right? Like, I think it might be as strong, if not stronger, than Terrakion.
No, everything does not get close combat, McGee. You want to know who doesn't get close combat, McGee? You want me to tell you who doesn't
Something
get close
ridiculous. Yeah.
Electivire. Electivire does not get close combat.
Oh yeah, they've been doing him dirty for 20 years.
But yeah, haha, Electivire, you don't get close combat. You get to stick with Cross Chop.
Yeah, and they give it to Lycanroc.
And Escavalier.
Right?
And like, what? And Bulu, that's the only good TM.
Because you know the thing that's going to break Electivire is close combat.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's what's going on in UU right now. People are just taking the Terrakion out and slapping Lycanroc Dusk in, which is good. I mean, it was banned there before once, so makes sense. Galarian Slowbro is up here, just wreaking havoc with a calm mindset because everybody loves to switch into Scald or Sludge Bomb.
Love the status.
Yay.
Love it.
Yeah. And something else that's surging right now is Starmie, because it can switch into Scald or Sludge. Well, maybe not Sludge Bomb as much, but it can certainly threaten the Slowbro out. It's got a great speed tier. It's got more special attack than a Slowbro.
It's got 100. It's the same.
Yeah, it's got 100. It has the same hit power as Mew, I guess. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
And it gets Meteor Beam.
And it gets Meteor Beam, Rapid Spin, Recover. If you want to go weird, you can do Reflect type. That was always my favorite set because I'm a defensive player. But yeah, Starmie's causing a lot of waves down here. This is also the tier where Keldeo has since landed, so makes sense. And yeah, that's UU in a nutshell right now. This is kind of in a nutshell month. Not a whole lot has changed just because we're waiting on next month for the tier shift stuff, if I'm counting them correctly. Yeah. So that's when a lot of things will go up or down that aren't directly related to tiering action, bans, suspect tests, things like that. Like when we get down to PU, nothing happened there. So yeah.
PU's exciting, okay?
Yeah. I mean, cool, there it is. We just covered PU. Nothing happened.
Yep. That's the answer. That's the answer.
Yep.
Yes.
Nothing happened, nothing different. This is just fun. So moving on from PU to RU, as we do. Funny enough, here's Slowbro again, banned from RU. Slowbro Galar, specifically. Slowbro regulars in OU. But yeah, Slowbro Galar is banned from RU, which means Virizion is kind of starting to go crazy now because that was its best counter.
Yeah, Virizion couldn't do anything against a Slowbro.
Yeah.
I think maybe it had Throat Chop, maybe, but like it's also got a 90 attack stat.
Yep. It's kind of like wet paper against something with that much defense and regenerator. So, I mean, meh.
Yeah.
There is a suspect test going on right now in RU. It ends on March 14th. So by the time this comes out, you only have a few days to get Rex if you don't have them. It's Zygarde 10% to try and ban that. That's yet another reason that Virizion is popping off, because it acts as kind of a soft check to 10% Zygarde. So long as you get it trapped in an Earth move and not a Dragon move or Extreme Speed, something like that. But that's a test going on. You have a couple days left to try and jump in on that if you want to. really, finally, the only other thing that's making waves is Reuniclus, because it does its thing. Like, either it calm minds and destroys things because they forgot to pack a counter, or can go Regenerator, Assault Vest, Tank. It gets knockoff, by the way, fun fact.
Yeah, it gets a lot of punching moves and physical attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got like all the punches.
Mm-hmm. So, Reuniclus does Reuniclus things. It's nifty. Regenerator's cool. Magic Art is cool. It's blessed with 2 amazing abilities. And finally, since we're skipping PU, because nothing happened there, NU has a few bans, 2 of which we talked about were likely going to happen last month. Those were Beware and Pangoro. Those, the day after the Battlecast came out in February, were banned. So, surprising no one. However, they continued along the fighting type Scourge and also banned Mian Shao since then. So that's 3 fewer fighting types in NU to worry about. Because
Mian Shao's fallen so far.
It has fallen so far. You remember when it was OU?
I was using it a few months ago on a ladder climb, and I was having a good time with it. I didn't know it fell apart so much.
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy.
I think a big reason behind that is the loss of hidden power, because it's got a decent, like, 95 special attack.
Oh yeah, super usable.
Yeah, and that could pop surprise counters. Like, I would use it to pop Landos.
Yeah.
Come in on a high jump kick, and then it's like, nope, hidden power ice. Haha. So, yeah, that's going on right now. But on a different note than banning fighting types, they're having another suspect test going on. This one you have even fewer days to try and complete. This is Cresselia. Its suspect ends March 13th, so you have a couple days from the time this comes out to try and jump in on that if you'd like to. But you had some thoughts about this before we started recording, Thatch. What do you think of Cresselia in NU?
Why is it in NU? Why is this allowed? I'm very confused. I'm like, is Pokemon fallen this far? I remember when they came out with RU as like a new tier. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, do we really need this many tiers? And if Cresselia is an NU, my answer is yes. Yes, we do. We need another one.
Apparently.
We obviously need a tier in between NU and PU, or NU and RU, and we call it, I don't know, we call it TU, Thatch's use, or something like that. Like Thatch's use, because I don't think Cresselia belongs in NU. It's Cresselia. No. It's so good.
It is, and especially now that it gets weird stuff like stored power.
Yeah, I don't know how it's allowed down there.
Honestly, I think it was allowed down there for a long time because Sigilif was, and it just does what it does better. Mm-hmm. So now that Sigilif is gone, Cresselia's time to shine is here, and there are a lot of fighting types down there, so it has a field day. Mm-hmm. The standard set I've seen is Calm Mind with Keyberry, because Keyberry cranks your defense up. Mm-hmm. And Calm Mind cranks those other 2 up, so then you just keep stacking those and then stored power your way to victory with Moonlight as your recovery. So,
yeah, I've seen that.
There are counters to it. They do exist, but
now
it's kind of a cost-benefit thing.
Now, 6 years ago, if you would have told me Cresselia was an NU, I wouldn't have believed you. That one I wouldn't believe. That one I wouldn't believe. Aegislash and
that one you wouldn't?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Cresselia and NU, absolutely not.
Cresselia is where you draw the line.
That's where I draw it.
You are a liar.
That's where I draw the line. If you tell me Feraligator's garbage, okay, and well, he doesn't exist anymore, but that's another story for another day.
But what if I reworded it, Thatch? What if I reworded it to UU is testing to see if they'll allow Aegislash in, and NU is banning Cresselia because it's too much? That might get you.
That I would believe. That I would believe. Because I would be like, yeah, Cresselia shouldn't be down there. No brainer. And
then Aegislash shouldn't be down there either.
No brainer. Okay, good. Game over.
Yeah.
We just did it.
But that's NU right now.
Both those are
It's kind of on.
Both those are OU mons. What are you talking about?
I know, right? Or Uber. Like, what on earth? But that's NU in. Again, as I've said at the end of every tier here, in a nutshell. That's apparently my catchphrase for this part of the show.
It is now.
Whatever.
Sure.
I learn new little things every day. At least it's not ums. So, in a nutshell, that's NU. In a nutshell, that's the tiers. Again, we're expecting a whole lot of things to change come next month because like I said, if I'm correct, I think there's going to be tier shifts next month. R Sigma mentioned that to me like a little bit ago, but while we were prepping for the show, so
yeah, a lot of defensive
there could be some interesting stuff.
And OU will drop down now that their things are banned. Like things that were checking Cinderace and McGee and them, they don't have a job anymore. So you go on the long ladder climb down, or ladder fall.
Reverse ladder climb.
Reverse ladder climb.
Excellent. So yeah, that is tier time, and we are going to kick it on over to the topic where we're discussing what we think of the upcoming games. Be right back for that.
And now for our main topic.
And welcome back to the topic. We are discussing the possible things that could happen if Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl allow for use of the Pokemon from Gen 4 in SwSh and competitive tournaments and things like that. We really wanted to explore this. We've mentioned it like briefly a little bit on the main show, but we really wanted to dive into it in this competitive format because we're in kind of a lull right now, and you know, we're all still really excited about Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl and Legends Arceus, so we wanted to tap into that, let us have a little bit of a gush moment, and let P. McGee and I pray to whatever Pokegods there are that Gliscor will return to OU. So we wanted to take that moment.
It's not that I don't want it. It's just that I don't think it'll happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want it. I want all of the Pokemon like in SwSh. I think that would be good. Yeah. I think it would be a really good PR move on their part to set that precedent. Like, hey, we'll get all the Pokemon to the next game eventually. And I think it's a really good precedent. I don't think it'll happen because it's a smart move, and Pokemon doesn't like to make smart moves anymore, apparently. And granted, caveat, I think they did a really good job balancing their own meta this time around. So good for them.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they did a really good job balancing VGC and BSS. So good on them.
It gives me an understanding as to why like megas weren't brought back into the game, at least initially. We'll see if it ever pans out. But like trying to incorporate megas with Dynamax, like I can see the hurdle that was.
So
trying to make it all happen was not going to work.
I can see that hurdle, and my criticism of the company at that point, and this is not Battlecast, but my criticism of the company at that point is maybe you should improve on mechanics instead of just like being one and done with them and like one night stand. Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't one night stand your mechanics. I don't know. Like because people really like Mega Evolution. It's a really good concept, and you should build upon that. But Thatch just has crazy old man ideas. I have the list pulled up, and I honestly, there's not.
Thank you for giving us that.
There's not a lot of like things that I think are super game changing. Like in terms of OU and stuff like that, there's not a lot of super game changing stuff.
No, Gliscor is the number one obvious impact. It'll immediately make rounds in the meta.
Manaphy.
No hidden power ice. Oh, well, Manaphy. Yeah, Manaphy will make an impact in the meta.
Manaphy and Shaman.
Does Shaman get to stay in OU? I don't know that it does it?
Which one? Skyform or Landform? Landform, absolutely. And then it will crash down to RU where it belongs.
Yes, that'll be what happens. Yes.
Skyform, absolutely not.
That's what, okay.
And Manaphy will not work because Tail Glow isn't in the game.
Yet. Telekinesis wasn't in the game before Alakazam came into the game.
Yeah.
Yet Xurkitree is, and no Tail Glow is here. So...
Sure. I would be okay with that being a move that got erased from Xurkitree, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't need it.
Like, Xurkitree doesn't need that. Manaphy does, and that's like Manaphy's signature move. I could totally see Manaphy coming back without a problem, and just like Xurkitree gets it as a quote-unquote legacy move. I really think Smogon in general needs to really embrace the battle ready mark.
Like, so long as it's able to hold the move, I don't think they will. I know. Like I've said several times.
They really need
Gen
to
9,
embrace it.
Wipe it. Yeah. Gen 9, just wipe any incoming Pokemon to their level up moveset.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
That would change.
I agree with that
tremendously.
Toxic
I will
Stall
forfeit.
Would
be gone.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because Toxic Stall is a huge like I don't enjoy how much Toxic Stall there is in Smogon's formats. And
I don't enjoy how much knockoff there is because it makes items essentially useless.
Exactly. And
especially with no megas.
And TPCI realizes, like, if I can say any good things about Gen 8, they did a very good job rebalancing competitive by getting rid of a lot of that nonsense. And they did a very good job with it, and I give them lots of like pats on the back for it. And I said, now wouldn't it be fun if we could play with those rules, but For Alligator could also be there. And that's all. And yeah, I mean,
where did For Alligator land last time he was in Gen 7?
Maybe
where
RU or NU?
It's just surprising with like sheer force and Dragon Dance. You'd think he would just have better success.
His
was
coverage,
solidly UU.
His coverage isn't great.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
I'm
like
looking
Ice
at it right
Punch
now.
Crunch.
He was solidly UU.
His coverage was
In
his
Gen
coverage.
7.
His coverage is like average. It's nothing to like.
But
write
it's
home
the
about.
sheer force, life orb.
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah. You get that.
Water Ice is
shenanigans.
good. Crunch is good neutral coverage. So I mean, it's good.
Looking at the list though, I think so. One very exciting things if they do go ahead and like base BDSP off of Platinum.
Yeah.
Platinum version Platinum version is like greatest game of all time now after I've looked into it. Because it has every single Pokemon available in it. Outside of legendaries or box art legendaries, mythicals, and previous starters. Well, it also has like the version exclusive things. Like it doesn't have Mischievous and Perugly and stuff like and Skuntank. But I mean, obviously you get the split from Diamond and Pearl version exclusives if you go with like a remake and you go with the Platinum decks, which they should, because I'd like more than Rapidash. And
That would be fabulous. Yeah.
as my fire type option. So I'm just throwing that one out there, but I would really enjoy that. I also think they should probably try to incorporate more of the Pokemon that are missing, like in generations after that, which is something that's very still possible because all we have is an announcement. We don't have any details about this game. And if you look at I think I said this on the main show at release. Seth, you were there. Maybe you remember. But at this point in like Oraz's timeline, we didn't have any idea that was going to happen.
Yeah, we had no clue.
Yeah, just throwing that out there. Could still happen.
Yeah, and there was that merchandise thing that implies, leak spoiler warning ahead, implies that Mega Evolution might be making a comeback because the last time they branded something with it, that mechanic that they branded alongside of it with the toys and stuff did. I think that's return.
It's such an easy slam dunk, but that's a different
It
story.
is. Oh, it is.
That's a different slam dunk. So like outside of OU and stuff like that, I'm thinking as a VGC player, things that might be game changing. Slaking.
With neutralizing.
As like budget Regigigas.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a little better. Only because you can like do some skill swaps and shenanigans with it. On top of I guess you could do the same thing with Regigigas, but it's not.
It comes in strong.
They're not as fun.
Even if
they're not as fun. Like I'd much rather give something Truant than give something Slow Start.
Yeah,
I think that's much more fun. But that's something to think about. I was looking at the list and I'm like, there's not a lot of things that I'm like super excited about. Alolan Muck. Maybe I don't know if it's OU material right now, but UU maybe.
It could be. It could be, especially with all the ghosts running around. Dragapult. Like Dragapult doesn't want to face one of those.
Well, I'm also thinking if you think in terms of the metas that require the battle ready mark, like it's going to be one of the few knockoff users that exist.
Yep,
which is going to be pretty big.
Sure.
Which will be
Philosopher
decent.
Suit stings for him though.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
I'm so okay with Pursuit being gone, but that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah,
I'm so okay with
Pursuit
it.
and Hidden Power. I'm okay with both of those.
I'm really okay with both of those being gone. Like a Vigillion
Ghost
percent.
needed to actually do something. Ghost and Psychic types. They needed something.
Yeah. I'm looking at some fun things. I mean, Smeargle's also missing, which has kind of been a VGC staple. Not as much without Dark Void, but you still get like Spore and a bunch of other stuff that are really good.
I mean, it just does whatever you want it for a team. Like it's just like, what do I need to do to get my team going? And
Okay, you can say that, but Smeargle is like it's a one-trick pony.
But what about my Anything Goes Baton Pass team, Thatch?
Good for you playing games where you can't accept loss of like mechanics.
Can't accept.
So good for you, I guess. I don't know. I'm just looking through it. I don't see like a lot of things. Medicham is probably like the one thing I'm just like, yeah, that could be good somewhere.
Yeah.
That could be good.
Even without the
Superior
Mega.
comes
Yeah,
in
even
as
without the
well.
Mega, absolutely. Oh, I'm trying to stay away from like the Gen 5, Gen 6, and Gen 7 stuff that's missing. I'm trying to stay away from those because like there's
Pessimistic
Focus on
there.
Gen 4. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
because like I think there's a chance that you can get like Gen 4 national decks, right?
I could buy
Yeah.
into that.
I think there's a chance you get Gen 4 national decks. I think the bigger travesty would be like if you got like you got the full like Gen 8 national decks, but it's only in BDSP. That would be kind of silly.
Gyarados get Aerial Ace?
So keep in mind, like, you'll probably have different move pools now, right? So
My brain
learn,
didn't
like-
understand why you asked that for about 5 seconds, and then it clicked.
Max, well, I don't know. Dynamax is kind of dumb for a lot of things in general. I don't want to say like Megas are coming back or anything just yet, but let's see. Ambipom is just fun, and I think it's an okay Pokemon. I could see it.
Take out Last Resort.
I could see it making some. I could see it making some ground somewhere, but Staraptor P. McGee was talking about it earlier. I think it could shake up like UU maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
it's
sure.
just-
It's strong.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like Zapdos. It just kind of screams an attack at you. And it hurts.
Yeah.
It also has Intimidate spam to work with. And now Boots are in the game, so now it has much more mobility if you want to use it that way.
I would say in the same vein, Swellow could do that too. Maybe
Doesn't
not.
Swallow get Boom Burst? Or am I
Yeah, it
not-
gets Boom Burst, but it also gets Scrappy and like all this other crazy stuff. It's really scary if you run like Specs Boom Burst, Scrappy, Swellow. It could just like spam Boom Burst for a little while.
Yeah, we've got Exploud for that, though, for the most part.
You
He's
do,
too
but
slow.
he's not as fast as Swellow. Yeah.
Yep. I miss Empoleon and Infernape, if I'm being honest. I don't think I would ever
love to
say
see
I miss Infernape.
Well, we all know the best starter is Torterra, and
You could get Grassy Glide.
ooh,
Then you could be something.
I don't know if those moves are going to make it to BDS. Well, okay, never mind. We're assuming they make it into the Swish.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is assuming it comes
This is
over,
such a these are just such bold assumptions.
I know, but that's the fun
Sad
part.
that they
Is like
are.
we're playing with the idea.
Yeah, no. I
miss the
agree with
Pokemon.
you. I do, dude. I miss all these Pokemon. Let's be completely
Oh,
honest.
yeah.
I wish they were all here. Let's see. I don't know.
I want
a lot of garbage.
Agility Subbataya sweep again.
There's a lot of garbage here. Let's be honest. But
yeah, there is.
there's like a lot.
Wormadam.
Oh, yeah. Bibarel's really gonna shake up that meta, you know. And
Yeah.
and Smeargle I can see doing something. I can really see I can see like Miss Magis and Honchcrow playing a role. I would love to see Miss Magis actually. And hear me out as to
have a
why.
role.
Because I think ghost types in general in Gen 8 have gotten a significant buff compared to where they were in prior gens, only because of that aforementioned pursuit removal.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is it has to do something that Dracopult can't do.
Use a ghost type move in less than 2 turns. I don't know, like
True.
like they're done. Cool.
Or just be the Dragapult of a lower tier. It definitely would be something that gets Mystical Fire too.
Yes,
So it would-
absolutely.
Ooh, this is true.
Absolutely. The other
So it
thing,
would be good.
would be if we do get Nat Dex Gen 4 or whatever, Deoxys gets to come back, right?
Yeah.
And Deoxys speed at least probably won't go to Ubers. But
Yeah, maybe.
like other Deoxys might go to Ubers.
Who knows? Maybe Attack at this point won't either. Gosh.
Yeah. With Sucker Punch from a Cinderace.
Or Grassy Glide from a Rillaboom.
Yeah, right.
Or Dragapult outspeeding it.
Maybe Rillaboom is the
Oh
problem.
no, it doesn't. It's 150.
Maybe Rillaboom's the problem. I don't know.
Maybe. I
I'm
as a
happy to
draft
see
player. Go ahead, McGee.
I was just saying, I'm happy to see a grass type like in the top 10 for usage. As
Right?
an offensive option. Like, Tangrowth has always had life throughout, and Ferrothorn's always had life, but those are like defensive options. So it's always fun seeing something be able to offensively use a grass move, which is normally just rejected by all the steel types in the meta.
Yeah.
So good on you, Rillaboom. Good on you. We just had to bust open your ability move pool combinations, but you did it.
Yeah. I don't know. There's just a few things here and there that I'm just like, yeah, this could be there. I would really appreciate
Simple the
it.
barrel?
That would be a fun gimmick. I don't know. Like everything else is just like worse versions of Pokemon we already have. Like,
yes.
I want to see Darkrai finally get its chance in OU.
that could happen.
It could.
I could see it.
It could.
I could definitely see it with no Dark Void, no Z moves.
Dark Void would
like
come
that.
back. Dark Void would come back.
Well, I mean, no Dark Void functionally. It's 50% accuracy.
Yes.
It's not going to be used really.
I still
So-
swear the mechanics were different. I'm gonna look this up. You're probably right, but I'm gonna look this up.
Look it up. Go for it.
I believe.
Trust but
Wouldn't you say-
verify, yo.
I feel like he'd be run with something like a Moongus, so a Moongus would just come spamming out spores, and then you would just come with Darkrai on those
Only one
things.
thing can be spored at once in OU.
Well, yes, but you just spam around until you get something spored, and then you come with Darkrai, click Nasty Plot, and then try to sweep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But maybe that's
I
just
could
the normal
definitely see
Darkrai
it.
strategy.
That'd be cool. But with, like, it's a good Dragapult answer, sort of.
I really
minus
want
the
to see
dragon move.
Empoleon succeed. The only thing Empoleon needs is Roost, which is just shocking to me. Of all the things that have gotten access to Roost over the years, they haven't given it to the Steely Penguin.
To be fair, they took
Right.
it away from a lot of things.
Well, they took it away,
Also
sure.
true.
But before they took it away, it never got it, which just surprises me.
It was a stellar defensive wall in UU for quite a few gens now. Obviously, Gen 4, it was incredible at being the sub-Pataya Berry agility sweeper that I mentioned that just goes crazy, activating its own torrent and just destroying the world. I love Empoleon. It's my favorite of the Gen 4 starters. So,
Oh, agreed.
and Water Steel's so cool as
One
a
of a
typing.
kind.
Yeah,
It's a very good typing. I
Still.
don't disagree with you.
and it's 5'7", just as tall as I am. Yay.
Are you 5 foot?
Just like
7?
Charizard and Aegislash. All of those are 5'7", and Napoleon. Yay.
Oh,
Yay.
all of these things are not things you should be comparing yourself to.
But they're things that I can.
Oh,
True.
oh, bad.
Single tear. Single tear rolls down my face. But what is I want to hear, like, other than Gliscor. No Gliscor. Not allowed to do that one. From each one of you, what is the one thing you wish most would come back? The one thing.
Whew. Man. Let's see. I mean, is that
And it
just
could be
gonna
for
say Frogger?
Smogon, for VGC, for some other reason. I guess you could say for Alligator if you want to be cheap.
I'm not gonna
Thatch,
do
but-
that. I'm not that cheap. I'm just thinking in terms of fun options. I think Dodrio.
Yeah.
Dodrio's not a bad Pokemon. It's not a bad Pokemon.
Yeah, it's not.
It's got base 110 speed. Its attack is like base 100, I think. Like,
That sounds about right.
it's
That's not bad at all.
Dodrio is actually pretty decent. And I'm not thinking of like, oh yeah, it's gonna like change OU or it's gonna shape VGC or anything. I like Draft League as a format, and I think it's always it was always like one of my good like E tier go tos because it was just an E tier gem. It's base 110 attack, base 100 speed. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's base 110 attack, base 110 speed.
So 110, 110?
Yeah, 110.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't have other stats, but those are the two of them that it has. And
Those are the two.
those are the two that it has. And so
You only need those two sats. Give it a choice band, it's off to the races.
yeah. I mean, it had a good time. I would love to see it come back, just because I think Dodrio is a good Pokemon for that.
Yeah. How about you, McGee, now that we've given you time to think?
Yeah. I really want to see Breloom come back. I never really got to play with it that much in Gen
That's so
7.
true. That's so true.
I want to see Mach Punch. I want to see something. I want to see an offensive Spore user because obviously the only thing that uses Spore right now is a Moongus. I mean, what is it?
you're so
Sheonotic
right.
can, but Sheonotic's not really a Pokemon. It just kind of sits there.
You're so right, though.
And a
Breloom
poison
is
heal
fun.
thing.
Yes.
A knockoff
Oh, yeah.
absorber after you're poisoned.
Oh, I forgot about the Poison Heal. I just get so attached to its Technician ability, but yes. It can actually be a viable defensive pivot a little bit.
Okay, Parasect also gets Spore. We forget all the time. Just
He's not in the game right
that's it.
now, so he's
Yeah, but
he's not here either.
neither is Prelude.
well, I don't care if Parasect ever comes back. His only value is being of Generation 1. Like, that's his only contribution to Pokemon. Also having...
Hey, he's got like a ×8 fire weakness. It's
like worse than that. Yeah, or it's ×8. Because
I wish they would give him something.
Yeah.
They should give him some kind of signature something. I think it would be fun.
I don't think he's salvageable.
He's definitely salvageable. Calm down.
He can be used on Rain. That's about it, and that's kind of fun. a sub-seed with Rain Dish nonsense Pokemon.
Yeah.
Recover half your health every turn.
Just give me my Breloom. Let me Spore. Let me Swords Dance. Let me just Mach Punch and Seed Bomb to Oblivion.
Dang it, that was going to be one that I wanted to mention. But that's kind of cheating on my end too, because it's one of my favorites. One thing I really want to see come back that I always loved using, that I feel like would be fantastic in a heavy duty boots meta, Yanmega.
Yeah, you're right.
With either speed boost or tinted lens, Yanmega.
Doesn't it get compound
that
eyes?
Sounds terrifying. Tinted lens or speed boost. I don't know what the other ability is.
I think it gets. Nope, I was wrong. It's tinted lens. You're absolutely. I was thinking. For some reason, I thought it got compound eyes. I'm wrong. Thatch is very wrong. Thatch doesn't remember Gen 4.
Gosh,
you should
Thatch.
explain Tinted Lens for people because it's not a very
if you resist the move, no, you don't.
Yeah.
That's tinted lens.
That's how you'd sum it up.
I remember that. Butterfree gets that. Good for you, Butterfree.
And Flygon doesn't for whatever reason. But yeah, Yanmega would be wild.
Flygon doesn't get anything.
In Boots Met. It gets Dragon Dance. That's something.
It didn't for a while.
I know. But it can look at Garchomp and laugh at it.
Wow. Its speed is not as high as I thought it was, though.
No, it's like base 95. Now, everything in Gen 4 is like 95 speed. Here you go.
Yeah. But I mean, like 115 special attack, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
116, yeah, it's a good special attacker.
Yeah. I think 95 was everything in Gen 5. I'm not going to lie. Like Electivire, Electivire's 95.
Gliscor
is 95. Yanmega.
Lucario's 90, so that's one.
But like Gen 4, it's like, you remember Alola and how none of the Pokemon went fast?
Gen 4 is a solid stat gen.
Oh, Gen 4.
All of them.
Gen 4 was I think competitive equivalent of Gen 8 in terms of like making sure things worked.
I loved it.
Pre-Lando.
Yeah, pre-Lando.
I mean, we had
Makes sense.
Gliscor wasn't that impressive because Weavile used to work.
Yeah, and also once they banned Sandvale, then what was known as British Gliscor stopped wreaking havoc on the tier.
Yeah.
Where you could get like 30% damage, just nothing. Like, oh, nope, you missed. Haha. Bright Powder, Sandvale with a Tyranitar partner. Wild. But anyway, I think that's where we're going to cut it. We're going to hold off on doing a team of the episode because with the topic being what it is, we don't exactly have a team of the episode because we don't have any of the Pokemon yet. So
6 Gliscors.
6 Gliscors.
No, 5 Gliscors and a Lando T.
5 Gliscors and a Lando T named Gliscor. But yeah, that's where we're gonna leave it. We're just excited as all of you are about the Gen 4 remakes, both of them. We'll see how Arceus affects things. Who knows? Maybe you can transfer things from there. Maybe you can use Arceus like a normal Pokemon. Who knows?
I imagine that you can take them to home.
Yeah. And then from home to where is kind of the question that we've been tackling this entire episode. So.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Some of us are more optimistic than others. That's kind of where we stand.
Somebody's hurt me. I've been hurt. I've been hurt before.
I recently did my favorite Pokemon of every type chart. I recently updated it, and Gliscor still remains as my favorite ground type. So
I've just been hurt.
Still on my chart.
I've just been hurt.
I've been burned before. Fool me once.
Yep.
Fool me Gen 4. Shame on me. But anyway, until next time, until the good old month of April, I have been Seth Vilo.
I
Good luck,
have been
guys.
P. McGee.
And I guess I've been Thatch.
I was wondering what order you guys had settled doing it in.
I want to be last.
I've been burned too many times. I went with the order
know.
you introduced us. I'm trying.
And I introduced you both at the same time this month just to do that later on. But anyway, we'll see you guys in April. Have a good month, and we'll see what we know by then. Who knows?